Yeah, Woody, it's Thursday, so this is what I need to see from teams this week. I've got a few teams that I think this is a bit of a pressure cooker point in the season, and they can define what the rest of their season will look like with wins this week, starting with Minnesota tonight. And it's tough to say that a team at 5-1 is in the danger zone, but Sam Darnold has looked mortal the last 2 weeks, and much more like the Sam Darnold we know and love than the Sam Darnold who was an MVP candidate after 4 weeks. He was not good against the Jets, a couple real bad moments against the Lions, and they are in a very tough spot tonight at the Los Angeles Rams, because every team this year that has played the Lions has had their doors blown off the following week, with the exception of Dallas, who had a bye week. Minnesota has to test the Lions hangover theory in a short week on the road. Mm-hmm. If they can prove that they can win in this spot, that I think is extremely difficult, then I'll believe they're capable of winning this division.
Okay, so you hear what he's saying there.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Because you watch the Lions, it's like the rest of the National Football League, but something specific about the Lions, the way they play defense, very physical.
Uh-huh.
It's funny, Dion. I don't know if you strike it this way, the way I do it, or see it this way. You watch the Bears and like, boy, that's a physical game. But then you watch another game. Maybe it's because it's Mike better, or maybe because maybe the players are better. Just the physicality.
Yes.
Those pads popping like holy smokes.
Yes.
Like and sometimes a different speed.
Yeah. Agreed.
Sometimes. I'm not saying like the Bears are JV.
No.
I'm not saying that.
No, not at all. But like I've definitely noticed that when we spend so much time hyper focused on our team and we think, wow, they really are getting after it. And then you go watch another game and you wonder if we're all in the same place. That's all.
That's right.
That's all.
So what Shay's laid out for everybody now, again, for those of you that like to be able to put a few shillings down on games.
I would bet the Rams tonight.
There it is. Right now, again, in front of me, it's Minnesota 3-point favorite on the road against the Rams.
And just in case like people don't buy what I'm selling, the Rams, week 1 against the Lions, week 2 got blown out by Arizona. The Buccaneers beat the Lions, got their doors blown off in week 3. Mm-hmm. The Cardinals, 20-13 loss at home to the Lions, got their doors blown off in week 4. The Seahawks, they lost to the Lions in Ford Field the following week, lost to the New York Football Giants at home.
So let's see if that trend is your friend tonight.
Yeah.
Shay's laying that out for you.
I took your advice.
Locked in? Locked in.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. What else do you need to see?
Philadelphia. Felt like last week they had a season-saving performance in the Meadowlands. They blew out the Giants 28-3, but life comes at you fast, and now you're a 2.5-point underdog on the road in Cincinnati, who needs a season-saving win themselves. Mm-hmm. If the Eagles lose or Washington wins, it puts a bit of a chokehold on the NFC East. I need to see Philly go out and win this game. I think it saves Nick Sirianni's job. And I think it puts them in the conversation to win the NFC East. I think it would install them as the favorite.
I believe that is correct. So think about this, Dion. So you got a couple wins as of late against the Browns and the Giants. Whatever you think of them, you got to win those games because the Eagles are just upside down, I thought, coming into the season. They're just okay for a team that should be better than this. Mm-hmm. But now the Bengals on the road, as Shay lays out, is a tough test because after that's the Jaguars and the Cowboys. So the Eagles going 5-2, that would help the cause. If Sirianni's going to be here at the end of the season, I don't know if he's going to be the coach next year. But I know one thing, that will quiet the noise for a little bit.
It would.
Yeah.
It would. But he's right. The Bengals need that win. That team has felt like they're not who they should be either.
Well, and if the Bengals win this game as a 2.5-point favorite over Philadelphia, they're right back in the mix for the playoffs.
They are.
Raiders, Ravens, Chargers after that particular game. This is going to be interesting. You know, it's funny, Shay, you look at the records of both teams, and it doesn't seem like a big matchup, but it is one of those things where it's this will tip the scales one way or the other for either one of these teams. Bengals, could you say out loud, Bengals 3-5? Did anyone see that coming? Slow start, yes, but 3-5 in the first 8?
No.
That's a possibility.
It is. So. When they lost to the Patriots in week 1, we all thought it was going to feel like when the Bears beat the 49ers in week 1, and then you realize later, you're like, wow, why did that even happen?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Bengals got to figure it out.
Just the perception difference too. If you're 3-5 in the NFC or the AFC North with Pittsburgh at 5-2 and Baltimore at 5-2, you start to feel like your season's over.
Yep.
If you're 4-4, you're right in it.
Yeah. So just remember, the Bengals lost 4 of their first 5.
Mm-hmm.
Thank goodness the Panthers were there.
Right.
Because that was in the middle of that. But it's interesting. That's an interesting game. Circle that one. Shay, what else?
The Green Bay Packers need to stop turning the football over. It has become a problem. Jordan Love had 11 interceptions all of last season. This year, he already has 8, and he missed 2 games. All he does is throw picks. He has not looked anything like the guy that the Packers expected him to be when they made him one of the highest paid players in football. It hasn't hurt them yet. They're still 5-2, but it might matter when you're on the road against a desperate Jacksonville team and a coach trying to save his job in Doug Peterson this weekend. Jordan Love can't turn the football over. I think they'll lose to Jacksonville if he throws 2 or 3 picks.
I think that's likely.
If they lose to Jacksonville. Oof.
Hey, it's the NFL. Anything could happen. This thing is so wide open.
Yeah.
There's very few things that you know for sure in the NFL. Dion, when you think about it, look at the entire landscape of the league. What do you really know? Like, know that Patrick Mahomes, whether he is on pace to be great this year or not. Point is, though, is that the Chiefs continue to win. Mm-hmm. It's one of the few things I know about the NFL.
The Chiefs win. Yes.
The Chiefs win.
They just quietly 6-0.
Even if they're underwhelming, they still find a way to win.
Right. It's more Andy Reid than it is Patrick Mahomes.
And honestly, I hope the Packers lose this weekend because I hate them. But think about the fact that on Sunday last week, they played a team where the quarterback didn't have 100 passing yards. The team they played, Houston, had 89 passing yards in the game, and the Packers needed a final minute drive to win it. Think about that.
Yeah.
That's what 2 interceptions in this league does to you.
Yeah, so, if you continue to play like this, playoff team, but it's like we've seen the Packers a lot, and that is bridesmaid, not the bride.
Right.
Like, I know that they want to be able to get to the Super Bowl like any other good team, but it's little things like that could hold you back.
Yeah, get there, but to what end? Like, get to the postseason, but don't go anywhere. That's not fun.
Jaguars, Lions, Bears, the next 3 games for Green Bay.
If they lose this, that's bad. That's real bad.
Shay, can you squeeze in one more?
Yeah, I want to talk about the Buffalo Bills for a moment because they have to do something this week that they haven't done yet this season, and that is win a road game convincingly. Mm-hmm. They are 1-2 on the road. They had that awful loss to Houston where Josh Allen completed about 1% of his passes. They had the road loss to Baltimore, and they went to play the New York Jets in the Meadowlands, and they should have lost that game if not for Greg the Leg missing 2 field goals. Go on the road to Seattle and prove that you are a team that's capable of winning convincingly on the road if you want anybody to take you seriously as a Super Bowl contender.
So you didn't think the Dolphins win was great for the Bills?
Was that in Miami?
Yes. 31-10. I'm just saying,
when was that?
I thought that game was in Buffalo. Are you sure?
At Dolphins.
Well,
31-10.
I'll correct myself. 2-2 on the road.
Yeah, 31-10.
No,
31. Excuse me. 31-10 was the score. They beat the Dolphins at Hard Rock.
Miami blows. Their defense is horrible.
Yep.
Go do it again.
They are, yeah.
Like the 2 road loss. I mean, the loss in Houston. He was 9 of 31 or whatever. Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Can't do that in Seattle. And it's a Mike McDonald defense that can wreak a little havoc. Certainly showed that again on the road in Atlanta last week.
On the way to Josh Allen being the MVP, which I believe that I think he will be this year.
You do? Okay.
That would be a signature victory against Seattle on the road. I would agree. That would be a signature win for them against Seattle because Seattle is still viable in their division. Still a good football team. So to go cross country for Buffalo, to go to Seattle, to beat Seattle, that would be pretty strong.
It would be. That's a tough trip to travel that many time zones. That's a tough trip.
My bad on Miami. Thank you for correcting me, Odie. I shouldn't let facts get in the way.
Stand.
All right.
Because ultimately what you're saying is, show me again. Mm-hmm. Is that what you're saying? Show me again.
You got to prove it.
That's right.
Miami stinks.
All right. But Tua's coming back.
Great. Is Tyreek Hill going to keep quiet quitting? Did you see him on
He
a?
said to start him on your fantasy team.
Did you see him on that deep ball, Dion? Did you see that clip?
I did.
Gets thrown a deep ball. He just turns his shoulders and starts walking towards the bench. Doesn't even make an effort to catch the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And then he tweeted, when DeAndre Hopkins got traded. Makes me say,
That's something. All right, we got deal breakers right around the corner. Light a candle on the Cap and J Hood Morning Show.
Good morning. Good morning to you.
Cap and J Hood Morning Show on ESPN Chicago. Peggy and Dion, Saturdays from 11 to 1 on ESPN Chicago. Presented by Advantage Acura in Naperville. Brought to you by Zazu Salons.
We'll have deal breakers right around the corner here on the Cap and J Hood Morning Show. But first, I have a question. Have you ever had trouble finding your favorite team's game? Couldn't find that outstanding matchup? So many channels, so many streaming services. Well, now, there is no more searching and hunting. Where to Watch has you covered. Where to Watch is a new feature that you can find on ESPN.com and on the free ESPN app. Where to Watch is a one-stop shop with one-click access to ESPN network streams and all other networks. Tens of thousands of events across sports and leagues like the National Football League and college football and men's and women's college hoops and the NBA and Major League Baseball and the NHL and so much more. Where to Watch is available now on the ESPN app and on ESPN.com. Access it from any web browser at ESPN.com/where to watch. Again, ESPN.com/where to watch. Go there right now, open up a tab and go to ESPN.com/where to watch. Jay Moore.